Hello, friends, and welcome back to A Christian Woman's Journey. We are so glad that you have joined us today. We are in full swing this weekend. We're doing a lot of from-scratch cooking to save money, and we wanted to show you a couple of recipes today. One is a banana bread that we'll be eating the banana bread all week. It's a big money saver. We're gearing up for a huge challenge. And the other recipe is a homemade dog food. Now, our dog is a senior. He has arthritis. And the vet told us that if we can give him some food with salmon oil, it's a big help for his arthritis. So we have a recipe we're making today and are eager to share with you. And I just want to show you some of what we add to the dog food that we make. And just as a reminder, this food is just a supplement. It is not a whole diet unto itself for your dog. Always check with your vet first. So we add a lot of pumpkin. This is our homegrown pumpkin. If you saw our video where we made the puree, this is our puree. The recipe calls for quinoa. Now, that is a little bit expensive. I tend to go light on that. Carrots, we don't have too many. They're nice and cheap. We don't have too many. Usually I'll add more, but every time the proportions are a little bit different. We managed to grab a sale on these pink salmons today. $4.39 a can. If that's cost prohibitive, you can go down to just one and maybe purchase some salmon oil instead. Spinach, you can add up to 2 bags in this recipe. We got a great deal today, 99 cents only. We are going to put in some hard-boiled eggs. Those are great for the dog, and our dog happens to love them. And we are starting to cook up. I always add sweet potatoes, and they're just starting to boil and get soft. Okay, so the sweet potatoes have been boiling for maybe about 10 minutes. I'm just checking to see if they're fork tender yet. They are getting there. Once they're done, we're going to be mashing them, so we really want to make sure that they're very soft. Okay, so we've started our quinoa in this pot. We've got a cup. And just checking our sweet potatoes. They are really very, very fork tender. Almost enough to just break apart. So we're going to transfer these to a large bowl where we will make our dog food. Okay, so next up in the boiling water, we're going to put our 2 carrots that have been peeled and cut. You can add more if you want. It's a really good way to stretch this recipe. We're going to get that boiling, and again, we want them really fork tender. So the quinoa is getting there. It is almost done, maybe a few more minutes. And I just checked the carrots. They are really fork tender. Let's just do the spinach at the same time. We know that spinach leaves only take a few minutes at most. Okay, the quinoa looks great. It's basically done. Let's shut this off and we'll get it off the heat. The carrots and the spinach as well are done. They're fork tender. Spinach is super wilted. And we can get this to our large mixing bowl. Okay, so we can also simply hard boil our eggs just right in the very same water. That's not a problem at all. Again, this recipe is so versatile. I'm doing 9 eggs. You can do more, you can do less. It really depends on what your dog likes. Okay, looks like we're going to need a little bit more water here. Okay, that ought to do it. So our pumpkin is still a little bit frozen, but it will melt very, very quickly in this.
Right now, he has no idea that we're making his special food.
We've got our hard-boiled eggs we're adding now, and we're going to get them mashed in with everything else. We just really want this well mixed. and well mashed. We've got our canned salmon added with all the liquid that comes with it, because that's where a lot of the nice oil is. And we're going to get this mixed in. And our dog food is ready. And guess who smells something and woke up and has arrived on the scene? He knows we're making his food. So we're almost done, and we have this almost full. We must have about 20 or more bags in there with about 6 ounces each of dog food. And someone knows that he always gets to lick the bowl. He absolutely loves his homemade dog food, and it really helps with his arthritis. If he could climb in there, he would. He really wants to get every last bit. So just trying to tabulate what that cost us to make. I would say it was under $15. That's just an estimate. And I know it sounds like a lot of money, but I carried that bag of dog food downstairs to the freezer, estimating it's probably about 10 pounds. That is a lot of dog food. We'll give this to him twice a week at 20 bags. That's going to last about 10 weeks. His regular dog food is now $3 to $4 sometimes a can. So that's really expensive, and actually making your own homemade dog food is much cheaper, and he loves it. We are making banana bread. And we are starting out here. We've got 2 1/4 cups of whole wheat flour. We have added a teaspoon of salt. And to that, we are adding 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking soda. And to that, we are adding 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder. This recipe calls for 2/3 of a cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can use the powdered like we are going to do for this recipe. Getting our buttermilk made. Go ahead and butter a 9 by 13 Pyrex. Preheat your oven to 350. Go ahead and mash up 2 very ripe bananas. So we're starting out here in this next bowl. We've got 2/3 of a cup of softened butter. So to this, we are adding 1 1/3 cups of sugar. Add 3 eggs that are at room temperature. Okay, so we're starting to add the dry mix a little bit at a time, and we're going to add that alternately with the buttermilk. And we are ending with the dry mix, getting that all blended in. So we just added the mashed bananas. And we are adding 2/3 of a cup of ground walnuts. And we're adding 1/2 cup of golden raisins. We're going to get that all mixed in. We're ready to get this into a 350-degree oven. We're going to check it after about 45 minutes. Okay, so after 45 minutes, our banana bread is done. So I am just sitting here. I'm trying to do a quick estimate of what it may have cost us to make that banana bread. So even by a very conservative estimate, I would say that whole banana bread maybe cost us $6 or less to make. It'll cut up into about 20 slices. That means max. Each slice is only about 30 cents, which is phenomenal heading into our challenge week. Friends, I truly hope that you are enjoying all the recipes that we are presenting. If you are liking these videos, please like and subscribe. That really helps us. Okay, good night, friends. To God be the glory. We will see you tomorrow.